Your product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Motherfucking time it is. Welcome to the motherfucking Thunderdome.
Dude, wake the fuck up. It's 5 a.m. We're coming at you. We never are late with a drop. We're never late with a drop.
27 a.m. Wake up.
Wake the fuck up. Now, Big Steve, Big Lux, Lucky Luciano, you go by
Yes,
many.
Mr. Schumacher Bone.
You were just telling us that you've been meditating in the evenings. What's going on? How do you meditate? Where do you meditate? And how long do you meditate? And what is the fucking reason you are meditating?
I'm meditating because I'm meditating for all the reasons. But me and you were talking about being a little bit on edge, ready to flip the script at any second. So, no, I've been meditating. I've had a practice for a long time, and I go back and forth, on and off. Sometimes I stay consistent, and I've kind of fallen off, and I found my patience, my temper, just a lot of things really somewhere that I feel like I could do better. And so I kind of put my practice back into practice of meditation, and I'm meditating. I used to meditate in the morning. Now I'm meditating at night. I sometimes do it outside on the patio. Sometimes I'll do it sitting at the side of my bed, and I'll just shut it down, man, and get into a basic sitting form and quiet the mind. And my meditation is right now, it's in between 7 to 10 minutes. I don't exceed 10 minutes lately. And for me, it's not about the time, the amount of time. It's really the consistency of doing it, and the time will work itself out. But I found that I'm able to get to the place that I'm going in my meditation a lot easier in the evening time. My mind quiets quicker than it does in the morning time, and it's helping me examine myself. It's helping me take a look at myself. It's helping me in a lot of different ways. I think if you haven't been Shumahan, or if that's a practice that you've gotten away from what you were just describing to me, I think that, that's something that maybe you want to take a look at. And I can help you. If you would like some suggestions, I'll make some.
Yeah, what are some suggestions? Give me some suggestions. I mean, so when you sit, how do you sit? Are you cross-legged? Are you in a chair?
I'll be in a chair. You can be sitting down any way you want, I guess. But I was always told that you don't want to cross your limbs. You want to keep your limbs straight, your feet planted on the floor comfortably, and your hands kind of just flat on their backs, and sitting up straight.
All right, I'm doing that right now. Hold on.
Straight forward. You want to make sure your back isn't hunched over, your shoulders straight.
I hunch my back a lot.
And then look directly in front of you.
Yeah.
And gaze up about a few inches. So you're looking upward slightly. And you can start by just kind of focusing on and slowing your breathing down. Just a couple deep breaths and start stretching those breaths out nice and slow. A deep breath in and slow let it out.
Relax.
Just nice and slow. Close your eyes. And just let those breaths come naturally. Let those breaths come into your lung, not your stomach. Try and breathe in through your lung. And try and breathe in through your nose right now. Take the air in through your nose. Exhale slowly through the mouth. And I kind of envision myself taking in fresh life. And I'm blowing out the old. I'm breathing in fresh, new. And I'm exhaling the old. And after a few minutes of this for me, and mind me, people listening, I've been doing this a while, I start to go to a place where my mind starts to empty. All my thoughts start to kind of drop away, until I'm at a place where it's simply silent and black, and I can't hear anything. And that's when I actually begin to see. When I get to that place, then I start hearing and seeing what my soul is telling me. And it's clear a lot of the times. And I'll try and stay in that space as long as I can. And from my timer, somewhere around 7-8 minutes, my mind starts to drift out again. I want to scratch. I want to. Oh, now I got to take a piss. And I kind of, but it started with 2 to 3 minutes. I thought I was there 10, and it was 4 minutes. So it grew, and I'm at around 8 minutes. And that is one of the only exercises or tools, if you're listening, for me to examine myself, to get out of myself and examine what I'm doing day to day, what I'm doing on this planet. What is it I'm doing? What am I? And what am I doing here? The meditation is the one thing that helps me step out and examine my life. There are opportunities there in that for me to change or grow or try new ideas. And let me just say this, and I'll end with this on the meditation, you guys. A few times I've been in meditation and practicing, and when I was trying to figure something out, it came to me in a meditation. Some of the biggest things that I've come up with came to me in meditation, and they worked. They worked out perfect, and they were showing to me in meditation. So I trust meditation. It's a gift there. That's a jewel. So that's what I got for meditation this morning. Shimon.
That's interesting in terms of. I'm kind of curious to know, like, what are some of the big things? Like, is there an example of something that when you were meditating came to you and you were like, that is going to fucking work. That is a fucking, that's the lick. Is there one that you can share? Hey, and guys, if you're driving the tractor trailer, don't close your eyes now.
Well, I can think of one that I'm going to use that I can only, there's many, and there's many good ones, but I'm going to think of one that I could just use that it happened to, and it was when we were working out storylines for Westlos. We were working them out, and I remember at that point in time, I was doing meditation, and it came to me very quickly. Right after a meditation, I was like, oh, it's da-da-da-da, and that was it. And it was simple, and it had been under my nose the whole time. And it made sense. And I remember sharing it, and for a moment, the whole team got it, right?
Yeah.
But it was like we were all trying to figure it out, and I remember it flashed very quickly on me. It was a combination of different things, and da-da-da, and then all of a sudden just laid out, oh, this is how it goes.
Your mind worked it out.
But very, like,
quick.
Easily.
Right.
And that's kind of how it delivers. I want to also say that the stickers, Famous Stars and Straps, we were doing these F stickers. We started doing these really big F stickers. And I remember saying, we're only putting these stickers in certain places. And I was meditating, and I remember I thought, why aren't we using the stickers like wheat paste? Why don't we just go ahead and start using these motherfuckers? And I remember just saying it. That'll work. And we went out and did it. And we got into trouble with these, but I actually started seeing it. And to this day, people are like, bro, they used to be giant, because they call them badge. The F badge was named. They used to be badges and fucking all over the Roxy and the 101 freeway. And I'm like, and I remember, like, it was just something that came to me, like, dude, let's just blanket LA with these all over everything.
Those things were blasted everywhere.
Yeah. So different situations, different, even design wise, bro. Design. I've been stuck on, like, oh fuck, let's put a pocket. And then I call people at like 2 a.m. Dude, look at it, and they're like, fuck. Stuff like that's happened to me, man. And that has come as a direct result 90% of the time from some type of a meditation and me quieting the mind, and the answer comes to me. I have the answers. These great fucking solutions. But my mind gets so loud, I can't hear my soul sometimes. And that's where I really think it's coming from. So, yeah, brother. Meditation, great tool.
Right, because I saw on your Instagram you had put out maybe yesterday or the day before kind of a message about feeling off. Everyone's kind of
yesterday.
Yeah, what was that?
I want to send a shout out to the Haran family, and starting out with a Lion.
Lion.
I send you my best, and Zion's. There's some clearing up in the lungs, and there's some like little bit of a turn right now that we're taking. We want to keep this momentum.
Right.
And he may be able to work himself off of the breathing machine.
Right.
Okay, so prayers going out. The woman, his mom, that Jessica, my ex-wife, very close with, they're like family. She just got notified that her brother was found dead in his car.
Oh.
And she's in this fight with her son.
Right.
She's fighting for her life, her brother. And 8-9 years ago, her other brother died in a fucking freak skateboard accident.
Fuck.
Busted his head. And so all this, this news came of this gentleman, Steve, and rest in peace. Rest in peace, Steve. Her brother passing. And I'm like, wow, man, this woman is like dealing with so much right now with her son.
Yeah.
Right.
And that happened. So there was stuff with what was going on with Schwartz's friend.
Yeah.
With his friend's daughter.
Just started chemo yesterday, man. 25 weeks of chemo.
And Burner going through what he's going through.
Interesting.
And I started thinking about I was like, man, around me, there's people that are having some real fucking struggles, man.
Right.
Real struggles, dude. Like, and what I say to myself is like, I believe everybody takes their turn, bro. I know this. Everybody's going to get their turn at whatever it is. So if I'm not taking my turn right now at it, somebody else is, that's my friend, I want to show up. I care about it. I want to be there. I would hope that when my time comes, that my friends look out for me, But I was saying to people that it just seems like there's a lot of people suffering, and I feel like we need to be compassionate, man, because you don't know what people are going through. And some people close to me are really going through some shit right now. I'm not going through that shit. And I feel like I'm an able body that's okay today. I need to try and send some concern that way, be of help to them. Look out for some other people, because there's people are going through some shit right now. Everybody wants to there's a lot of like angry, fucking people up type attitude. Mm-hmm. And I don't see a lot of community. That's all, man. I just felt like reminding everybody how fragile life is. That's what that was about. Just reminding everybody, it's fragile. It's fragile, man. And the other thing is, everybody is just trying to figure it out. I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but I remember I went into a therapy with a woman I was seeing, and the therapist suggested, hey, get a baby picture of her, and hey, you get a baby picture of yourself. And she had us give each other our baby pictures. And she said to the girl, and said to me, you see that baby picture? When you get mad at this person, look back, because that's who you're getting mad at. It's just that person.
Wow.
They might be in a different body, but it's really that kid, and we're all just kids kind of in adult bodies trying to figure this out. And it just made sense to me at a level where I feel like as humans, nobody has the fucking answer. Hey, nobody has the answer. Nobody's gone there and back yet. So we are all trying to figure it out. And I think that we need to keep in mind that let's practice a little compassion. Let's just kind of try to remember for 1 second that nobody has the answer.
Sean, you were nodding when Steve was talking about when you get mad at somebody, you're getting mad at that little kid. What made you align or like go with that?
Because I think that we are the same person throughout. I mean, obviously we're the same person throughout our life, but like we're so connected to that child that I think. The outside, I don't see my wife as that kid. You know what I mean? And I think if I think about her in that innocent sense, that would give me a little bit more compassion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
Schwartz, are you thinking about Megan as a baby Megan?
No, but I totally see it that it is, that's how it should be, and that would be helpful. And you'd have to have more compassion and for the person that you're dealing with. I totally agree with that thought.
Yeah, that's interesting. I, was at the 7-Eleven. The thing that struck me the hardest lately was that I was at 7-Eleven and I saw, the 7-Eleven by my office is that meth haven.
Oh.
Right?
Does that heavyset black woman still work there?
Yeah, the happy one.
Oh yeah,
Dude, does she?
Shoot, she loves my braids.
Brother, I'm giving you something today, dude.
Yeah.
I need you to keep it in your car or however.
Okay.
I want to gift her, man. That woman is such a sweetheart,
she always
man.
hooked it up. And,
I'm giving you stuff for her, dude. She's a doll. Go on.
She's always very sweet to me. She tries to
sweetheart,
talk
man.
to me. And there'll be
Angel.
like, dude, there'll be like a meth guy in the back with his pants down trying
What?
to pick up corn nuts off of the whatever. I don't know what he's
With
doing.
an erection. Right?
And trying to steal shit. I have no idea. And she's still like, how you doing, baby? I love your braids. I love me some of your braids. All that shit. And I'm
Take
like,
those donuts out of your pocket, baby. You don't have to steal here.
bro. Anyway, okay, before I go off on all that and show how uncompassionate I am.
Right.
But I was at the 7-Eleven and something broke my fucking heart. I couldn't even talk to my wife about it. And it left me kind of in a weird quandary and I didn't know what to do.
happened? What? To get you?
Dude, bro.
How do you do that? I got to hear this.
Maybe you guys can
Was it
help.
a little puppy, dog?
It's gotta
No.
involve a kid, right?
I saw what looked like somehow there's been more. There's like it's a meth society now there. It's more than what was there when you guys were rolling through, okay? It's like, I'm not kidding. They put up their own signs in different parking lots to say this belongs to Cheetah and that belongs to Silverfish and, all this stuff. And there's a lady that was there as I was getting out and she was not full meth yet. You could kind of tell, but she was on her way. She had more bags than a normal person has, but her clothes weren't totally dirty yet, and she was still had a little bit. She was still kind of chubby.
God, dude.
She was like,
dude, you're like laying it out. I know exactly what you're saying.
it's weird that my mind can even formulate
Still
all.
got meat on her bones.
Yeah, and like I can tell she's on the downslope.
She's losing it all. She's going dead.
And the other reason why I knew she was on the downslope was because she was pushing a stroller with her daughter in it. And the daughter was probably like 3 and happy. The daughter, I could see.
Yeah,
This is
of
what
course.
broke my heart. This is what shattered my fucking heart. Is that the daughter was happy to be with her mom.
Yeah.
And didn't know that they were on a downward slope.
Nope.
And they were by the trash in the center aisle where the gas is. And the baby was having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
I still...
Boy, I like the way you broke that down. That's real.
And I still, like, in a weird way, ignored the entire fucking mess, right? I still walked in and bought nicotine and walked out and just went home.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that stuck with me the most on that level was that a child's love is so built in or unconditional, however you want to phrase it.
Yes.
That it can love a mother on the downswing and have fun and not know what's coming. And I also thought about my daughter and was like, when I see her and she's so happy to see me, that same principle is in play. Same exact principle. And it doesn't distinguish. And I thought to myself, like, it just seems so lonely that we humans have that capacity when they're bonded with their parent at an early stage not to judge them and to think things are normal that aren't normal. Fucking killed me, bro.
And I'm not going to veer too far off.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
Stay right on it. Let's say that girl is the exact same age as your daughter.
Right.
Exact.
Almost.
Okay, exact. Then that little girl's experience in life
Go
on
ahead.
this planet,
Yeah.
more than likely, is going to be and has been very different than your daughter's. Correct?
100%.
And moving forward, not for sure,
Yeah.
but more than likely, her experience moving forward is going to be different than your daughter's.
Yep.
So tell me,
Go ahead.
what's the determining factor between these two lives, these two souls, these two beings, these two, like, why is it one's gonna maybe have this and one's gonna, what did that one do differently than that one didn't, that this has that or that? What is it?
Before we get to that, because that's an interesting question, I personally think that's the question that engenders all kinds of bullshit theories on humans' parts to try to explain that. And there's but Sean, I saw you. You went through a myriad of emotions as I ended that story, and then heard Steve starting to ask the question. There was at one point I saw in your face, I don't know what it was, a flash of something. And then as Steve dialed in, what was the difference? I saw you shake your head. So can you please access your actual emotions behind all the wires and machinery?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. What? Tell the truth.
Why do you always call on me?
Because
God damn.
Because you're sitting in the
All right,
front row
listen,
now, bro.
listen.
because you have interesting things to
It's
say.
not fair, bro. Life isn't fair. And, you know, she's probably going to come to a realization, that 3-year-old kid who grows up probably in that camp, that weird homeless camp, is going to come to a realization. I mean, I don't know how long that lady can survive in that camp. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
But say it is sustainable. Say she is able to stay in that camp and be a meth head and whatever, and slowly degrade and wither away on the vine
Before they take the kid.
down there by the ravine.
Yep.
You know, but that kid is going to come to a slow realization that her mom is fucked up, and she's not going to have a whole lot of opportunities to be educated, you know, above the average or whatever it is, to be to have safety, you know, in some level above the average,
Right.
to have security, like you know, police could come down and shut down that fucking thing. So there's a whole lot of things that she's not going to get,
Right.
whereas your daughter is
gonna be
already
privy to.
prepared, is already getting a higher education at 2 years old,
Right.
is already, you know what I'm saying? It's not fair.
Right.
Like,
but here's,
life isn't fair.
Oh, I get that part.
well, so the determining factor in my mind between the unfortunate situation of that toddler and my daughter's potentially fortunate situation, right, are the parents. That's the determining factor.
Right.
And there's no giant scoreboard in the sky that says, oh, you're going to get good parents and you're going to get bad parents. You're going to get malt liquor dad and you're going to get wine mom.
Sure.
You're going to, all right?
Right.
And, but when I'm thinking about giving up, now you really want to get real? When I think about giving up, I think about my daughter's fate is in partially, not totally. She's got responsibility, is in my hands. And I'm either going to fucking puss out or man down and pretend like I'm not responsible in part for giving her the tools she needs, or I'm going to suck it up and move on. Or I'm going to put in an extra hour, or I'm going to control my snap anger against Schwartz to try to get this show to go to another level, because my daughter needs me. She needs me to fucking deliver.
Right.
So in my mind, that's the determining factor. But is there like some kind of like fairness about it?
I think
Absolutely
no, there's
not.
no better. But I think here's what I'm getting at. Here's the last thing. I want you guys to hear me on this.
Go.
This is what I'm getting at.
Go ahead.
Is what Sean said. It's unfair. People think, okay, well, that's it. It was that girl's life and this girl's life. And that's what happened, and it's all over. People think most people, I believe, subscribe to the idea that you come here and then that's it. So you're going to tell me that that whole experience for your daughter is her whole, when she passes away, that was her experience and that's all that it was to her life and existence?
No,
was that one shot and my dad was, and this other girl, her one experience at life, one experience at living on the planet in this thing was a fucking junkie mom and that's it. No, man, I don't fucking believe that for one fucking second, dude.
I understand that, but this is why I say it gets into this speculative. Because as you adequately stated,
me too. I don't know either.
You said
Saying
people
what
go
I-
out and they don't come back. So what do we know, right?
Right.
And I'm saying, like, there's one version of, well, you do the best you can here, and then God's going to prepare this awesome home. Oh, this is going to be the best breakfasts every morning. It's eternal.
Yeah.
You're going to be with your friends, skipping down the jeweled streets, you know. There's going to be free coffee. It's going to be the best thing you ever. Oh, boy, you're going to love it.
I think a lot of people that commit suicide get to believe in that too.
Sure.
Or you're going to hell, and they're going to be sticking fucking rods in your balls and all that shit. Then there's another
Razor blades and
right. There's another theory which is like, well, listen, we are all here to learn something, and so as a result, once you learn what you need to learn, if you forget the lesson, well, you're going to come back again as another human being, although you won't remember what you learned or didn't learn from the previous. So you're starting from scratch, and you'll be reincarnated, right? And there's all variations of reincarnations, and then you have like the atheists that say like, well, it's the big blackout. You just fucking wink
You're
out.
gone. That's it.
Wait, Schwartz, you
The
said
no, it's like I've heard of people
Cockroach.
talking about the TV just goes off.
It's a cockroach.
That's it.
Yeah. You step on a cockroach and there's no afterthought.
right. So to be honest with you, I
think a lot of people think like that, brother. I think a lot of people think like that, Chumahan.
Well, it's true what you say. Although,
But if you think like that, do you see where thinking like that would have you set up to live life completely different if that's the case?
In which
that's
way?
what if I believe that,
in which way would that set you up to think differently then?
there's not enough of, or everything's on a timing. I've got to, it has to, of course, there's only one, it's not eternal. This thing is very contained and this is all I got.
Right.
And once this is over, it's over.
So
this is my one thing.
But what does that mean?
I think that I think it sets you up for a different trajectory through life.
So I agree, but here's the real fucking problem. This is what I deal with on a regular basis, and this is why you're saying maybe I should meditate more because I'm ready to snap 45% of my life. Okay. And this is it. What people profess they believe, and they hear themselves saying I believe, is about 98% of the time not what they actually believe.
I agree with that.
So, there are some people who say, well, this is our one shot, right? 8 Mile, Eminem, you know, if you only had one opportunity, but that's the same guy that's been in and out of rehab and has had plenty of opportunities, right? So it doesn't all add up.
Yes.
So the issue is, right, some people say, I only got one shot, therefore, I shouldn't give a fuck about anybody. I should just do my fucking thing. And that could lead to some type of dark sociopath.
Or some greatness.
The flip side could be, I only got one shot, so I actually have to work my ass off because this is it. I don't have time to waste. I can't be, you know, like some young person just slowly eating an apple and staring off into space and, you know, just walking around.
Go ahead, Schwartz. Go ahead, Schwartz.
Orange sweatsuit. Listen, and then you also, right, and the one where you're like, and then the one where you're like, okay, well, I'm going to heaven. So long as I'm sorry for what I did, could set you up for I'm going to be a better person to get to heaven, or I'm going to fuck up everything, right? And then go to confession at the last moment.
Right. Whacking dudes, and on Sundays I'm cleaning it up.
So
my
what
God.
people...
Oh, just that whole thing.
Oh,
of
my
fucking
God.
whacking people, bro. The whole confession shit is
I love that. Go ahead. What is
the whole Catholic thing?
Go ahead.
It just it confuses me. You know the whole.
It
like,
confuses-
you
Oh, it's
do-
not confusing at all, dude.
No.
Come on, bro.
Come on,
They know
straightforward.
exactly how it
It's
works.
not confusing, but it's like it doesn't matter how you live. You know.
It doesn't.
I sold 20 fucking kilos fucking
right.
yesterday, but I'm fucking building a little fucking volleyball court in the church, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so Schwartz, explain your spiritual thought about the afterlife, and is there such thing as a spiritual car wash where you can go in and just be like, look, I got some mud on the flaps, why don't you spray it
And
off?
do you have to have your nuts shaved to go to heaven, or is that a rumor?
You know what, man? I actually
He'll probably take a weed
believe-
whacker to shave his
I
nuts.
actually
That's a hairy
believe
motherfucker.
more about it being shut off than, and I guess until I'm proven otherwise, because who knows what the fuck is,
Okay.
nobody
Okay.
knows.
Right? Nobody does.
You know, the
know.
only
That's it.
thing that has tripped me out, and I've heard people talk about as they're dying, talking about seeing.
The white light experience.
No. Seeing actual people that have been dead for years. Like they'll talk about. There's been 2 experiences in my family where, as they're dying, they talk about people that
Seeing-
are dying, seeing coming for them.
And who was it and what happened?
Yeah, no,
Near-death
it was.
experiences, because I already told the story about my Auntie Maxine who saw Jesus on a spaceship.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
go.
my Aunt Rose was passing away. She died, but as she was doing it, my grandmother was there, and she said that she was telling my grandmother that her mom, my great grandmother, was coming for her, and I think somebody else too. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, my
but-
grandmother did that too.
yeah.
She was, but before she passed, like for the few like evenings or whatever that week, she was telling my parents or my dad these fucking, because I think she was also starting to
Lose?
a little bit,
Right.
But these like, who came and saw me last night in my dreams, or came and sat down on my bed last night, and it was like somebody that had been dead. So she started talking about this the week she was dying. Crazy
Right,
stuff.
it's hard to pinpoint, like, is that something
96 though. Go on.
that the mind does?
Right.
Or is that something that's actually happening?
Right.
Right.
And you
Gonna find
can't
out.
really, when someone's dying, that's not the time to argue with them. Like, wait a minute.
But doesn't different chemicals are being released as you're dying? Like that's what they say about that other shit. That you
I would
take,
think so, but then again, I don't know. I mean, my dad died, right, and I was with him for like a week while he was dying in a hospital. And he never said anything. The only thing he said is like, isn't there something they can do? I know I'm not that healthy. Guy's 400 pounds. He's like, I know I'm not that healthy, but god damn, isn't there something they can do to keep me alive? And when everybody's like, I don't think so. I think this is it. And he had nothing. He didn't say like, I see a light or I see flames. He didn't say anything of that nature at all. And when he died, and I was holding his hand, he shook. There was, man, I'll never forget as long as I live.
Wait a minute. I need you to help me with this a second here.
Go
with
ahead.
Your father passing.
Yeah.
When he passes and you say you held his hand, was he on a life support at that moment? Was he unconscious, conscious?
So he was not on life support, although they did have, so he didn't have like a breathing tube in his mouth or anything, but they did have an IV going.
Okay.
So I think they were feeding him some kind of liquids, but
He was able to breathe on his own at that
on
point?
his own, absolutely.
Okay.
And he had Schwartz was there, that's why he said yeah.
No.
And so then they had cut open his stomach and removed his intestine for some kind of other reason. But so he had an open wound also, and they would do like wound vacs, and they would, they brought it in and they had all these sponges and everything, and he had just a thing going, and I could see inside my father. And the thing that struck me the most was that it looked healthy. It was pink and red and didn't look sickly or
Didn't look all black and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I
Right.
And so when he was dying, though, I will say this: he wasn't conscious, like looking at all of us, being like, "This is the big one." He didn't do that. His eyes were closed.
When had you last had communicated? How long?
A day before.
The day before he had been coherent enough to talk to you?
Yep. And there was 2 things that he said to me. First, I said, Dad, they're going to kick me out of law school if I fail these tests or I don't show up, so I got to go back. Do you want me? Or if I take the semester off, then I don't get any bad grades and they won't kick me out. Do you want me to leave law school and I'll stay here with you? And my dad said, no, stay until Wednesday and then go back to school. And he died on Wednesday. And the second thing he said was, he looked at my arms and he said, did you ever think that you would have arms like that? because they were like somewhat muscular. And like,
Damn.
that's a true story. And
Because he wanted arms like that, bro.
and also I was a fat kid the whole time, and he was busting my ass all
Yeah, bro.
fucking
That's what
day.
I'm saying, it, bro.
And he was like, I don't know.
He created you, bro.
He did.
God damn, dude. Damn, that's probably, bro, when he said, did you ever think, dude, I can tell you, bro, like, he was saying it from a place that he probably always wanted to have that, bro. He just wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
And he wanted it badly for you, probably. That's why he rode you.
Oh, he rode me hard, brother. So Schwartz,
It's
if I ride
amazing
you,
that I just find it so interesting that he said that about your arms, bro.
He did.
I already knew the thing about
Wednesday.
the Wednesday because that book, again, Conversations with God, talks about that right there.
Don't make him repeat that one more time, listener.
Never again.
Never. Once
We don't know.
again.
We don't know what the person in the bed's agreement or deal they've already made. We don't know what that is.
Right.
We just know what we think. Oh, please stay alive.
Right.
They might have already, So him being able to tell you stay till Wednesday and then leaving,
Yeah.
there's like, okay. So, wow, that got me a little bit emotional, dude, when you said that about your arms, dude.
He did. He actually squeezed my bicep and said, "Did you ever think your arms would be like that?" And he was smiling, and
Dude.
it might have been like there's like maybe only been two or
Fantastic.
three places in my life where I can genuinely say
He is proud of you.
that he not just proud of me at a social level, but proud like I had met and exceeded his expectations of what he wanted.
When was the other one?
The other one was
I hate to get you do this, but we need to know.
all right. The other one was it was before any of the death shit, and there was something that happened to me in my 20s where I picked this is the beginning of my reading, my real reading. Before that, it had always been compliance reading.
Oh.
And then some some fun reading of Stephen King. I've probably read every single book of Stephen King's, but that was just me just like, fucking eating Cheetos. And I got this book called The Secret Life of Lobsters.
Okay.
And as I read the book, and I don't even remember what got me to read it, and I picked it on my own. It was back when Barnes & Noble actually existed, and you would walk around and drink fucking lattes and look at shit, think about what you'd like to read, but never act. I saw that, and I read it, and it took me through this impossible journey of the life of lobsters that starts when they're like microscopic almost, and they're called super lobsters because instead of going backwards like lobsters normally do, they fly forward with their arms forward as little microscopic like whatevers. And that's when they're the most vulnerable. And it takes you through the life of the lobster all the way through to like when they actually live in the middle of the ocean or deep, so that these giant fish like cod can get real big. And they live down there away from the cod, and they can actually grow up to be adults. But the problem is they gotta fuck. They gotta fuck, man. And so to fuck, they gotta go into shore and get into some rocks and do some rock fucking, because that's where the female lobster then eventually lays her little fucking eggs that turn into these these tiny little fucking things that fly off into the ocean.
Gotcha.
All right. And this, my friend, is the most dangerous. Fucking equals danger. In human nature, anytime. Fucking equals danger because your mind is taken off of defense and all that other shit. Right?
Yes.
True.
Right?
Yes.
So what happens is
And you never want to fight naked. So,
you never want to fight. No, you
Naked.
do not.
No.
Well, which is why in a lot of tribal societies, that's the height of strength, is if you run into battle naked. So these lobsters that grow big, they got to come to shore. And there's this giant fucking open space. I mean, it would be the same thing as like one gazelle having to cross like a giant field with nothing to protect it from the lions. And so they create what they call as a lobster train. And somehow these fucking bug-like weird fucks down there have all figured out that if they run like Tour de France cyclists, so that there's one that's cutting the water and then everyone runs in a line behind it, they actually can get to the rocks. Once they get to the rocks for fucking, they're safe because the rocks protect them. So that open space, somehow over millions of years, the lobsters have figured out we're going to fucking run. Right? And then in a line and like Tour de France, and we're going to get there faster. And that's safe. That's the safest way to do it. And the front one gets tired. He drops to the back. The next one takes the lead of breaking the water. That really happens. Then they hit the rocks, and then it's Fuckfest 98. Okay. So the thing is like...
Lobster Fuckfest.
Dude. And also
Rock
that
lobster.
Male lobsters have gripping contests. And they don't...
Okay, speed up and get to where we're going.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's
let's
fascinating for fucking. So I read that whole entire... Listen, this is how... Okay. And I read that whole entire thing, and I was talking to my dad about it. And probably a year later, my dad said to somebody else, not addressing this, he said, I'm going to start reading like Chumahan reads. He reads these books that it's everything on one single subject. And he like is able to learn all the stuff about the subject. And when I heard that, my dad, who also was a lifelong reader, admired the way that I read, and not for any purpose but to actually explain my strategy, I felt like I had achieved actually something.
Awesome.
Those are maybe the two times. And so when he was dying, he did what they call a death rattle.
I'm familiar with that.
You are?
Yeah, because I was actually in the room with my grandfather when he passed away. We were all around him, and I was holding his hand. In fact, I kind of felt his last heartbeat go in his hand. It was a crazy experience, man. I mean, as crazy as it was a beautiful experience. We had this, like, CD that my mother had made of, like, all his favorite songs, and he literally, like, died right when... his favorite song in the world was playing.
Which was?
And Impossible Dream by from Man of La Mancha. And my mother, who had been involved because of, in the 80s, she was heavily involved with HIV and AIDS. She had been around a lot of people that had passed away. And she kind of let us know. We were all around
My mom was heavy in the AIDS. She's heavily involved, bro, as well.
So, and she also used to work with my mother. You ever remember it was the Santa Monica thing, the wellness community for cancer?
Of course.
Yeah, my mom worked there as well. But she had been around a lot of people that passed away. And so she actually let us know, like, hey, it's happening right now. Like, their breathing slows down to a different thing, and there's something that they call like a death rattle or a gurgle or whatever. Luckily for us, it didn't get ugly. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is his favorite child. I actually took a long time, bro, before I could listen to this again without getting super fucking weepy. My grandfather was everything to me, so...
He was kind of like your father figure.
Yeah, well, 100%, yeah. Yeah, I mean, just I usually like kind of sum it up like my first wedding, he was my best man. So kind of just to sum up how close we were in our relationship. So yeah, it was incredible, man. And he had Alzheimer's for several years, and he, you know, kind of, it was weird because I had thought that I had already grieved his death like a couple years before because he'd stopped talking. He was just kind of there. And dude, the second he passed away, I fucking lost my shit. Lost my shit, but no, like hysterically crying, fucking dropped to one knee, like fucking lost my shit. It was, but you know, that just shows the connection and the, you know, whatever. But it was, like I said, it was a crazy experience, but one that I, you know, obviously wouldn't give up. Right,
it's the ultimate experience.
It is, yeah.
That's real life happening in front of you. None of this, all this fucking fantasy bullshit. That's what really happens to all of us if we're lucky.
But not everybody has the death rattle. Not all people have that. No. Some people have that. Right. Some people pass without doing that.
Right. So you're how old was your grandpa when he passed?
My grandfather was, I think 87.
Did he have an impossible dream? Why did that song move him?
I don't know, man. He was, I don't know if he had an impossible dream, but no.
I mean,
he
wait a
loved
minute, hold
that.
on. Have you ever listened to that song?
Only briefly. I don't really
you just
know.
have to listen to the
Yeah.
song.
Why? What's it about?
Self-explanatory. It's for each person. It's going to resonate about life.
What's
It's about what you did or didn't do with your life. That's what the song's about.
Yeah.
So
Did
when you
he-
hear it, if you listen to it, it's self-explanatory.
It was
Right, it's-
so crazy that he passed away during that song because there were, like I said, a CD that my mother had made years back of kind of like favorite songs of his.
Yeah.
But the fact that he took his last breath during that song was like,
I mean, but how many times do they play that song in tribute of people passing and
Oh,
stuff like
sure.
that? It's like,
Yeah.
that sounds like...
yeah.
The reason why I ask about it is because I was kind of curious as to the specifics of the grandfather. What did that song mean to him? Did you guys ever talk about it?
No, I don't think we did talk about it, but no, not that I can remember, but I just know that he really loved it. My grandfather was super into music, so like he loved a lot of like Pavarotti and like other classical stuff,
Yeah.
and he would friggin' conduct it like with his arms, like as he was listening to it. So, and he did that even in like later years when he had stopped talking. I used to go visit him, and I would put my headphones in his ear, and I would play his classical stuff, and I would kind of like do the thing, and occasionally he would like still do it, but
Yeah.
it was a trip.
Dude, so that is so then when so when we go back to the concept of life after death or what this world is all about and what's the determining factor for somebody like that, blah 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 blah. So yes, the
Broke your
parents
heart.
or the because it's not always parents, right? So one person might only have one parent.
Did you handle a lady at 20? What did you do with it? Did you do any of that or you just kept it moving?
I kept it moving, bro.
Okay.
I didn't do shit. I do what I normally do when I see like
And you read that post?
human frailty and all that other stuff. I just acknowledge it and walk by it and then go buy my tobacco stuff.
Right. And did you read the post that I put up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, otherwise, why the fuck am I asking you about it?
I was just looking right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking you because I read the post, homie. I read your posts.
Okay.
I don't ignore your Instagram shit.
No, I just ask you.
He's like,
Okay.
did you get anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like you're like,
Right.
Did
Because
you?
they didn't give nobody no money, dude. Like other people on
well,
there,
let's
like,
get
I
real.
gave him a 20, I gave this.
No, I felt
That's
that.
why I asked. And you're like, what?
My money.
Kept it going about my tobacco.
He's like, yeah, I read it.
Yeah, I read it.
What?
And then I just walked by her.
Oh yeah, and I got two tobaccos.
No, I read it and showed it to her and said,
Right.
"Listen, what are you doing, lady?" No, listen.
He's like, yeah, I read it. I felt bad.
You
And
should
went along my
record
day.
himself. Hey, you should record himself handing her $2. Go ahead, I'm doing my
come on, let's not get crazy.
I'll punch somebody in the face. They start put up posts of them giving shit out, dude.
Let's not get
I hate
crazy.
that shit.
I'm not gonna give anyone any free money. What are you nuts?
Yeah, the money's for me.
Shit, I'm sitting here trying to negotiate with Ali for the best price on some fucking animation.
If you ask Chuman for a cigarette, he'll be like, "No, only 20 come in a pack, bro. There was no extras here. I don't have extras." What are you talking
oh, bro, I don't carry cash. What do you mean, dude? I don't have cash.
That's the move. That's the move
I know.
all the time. No,
Dude.
yeah.
Look how good you are at it.
Yeah,
you're like you got it. Like you can't even break through that. There's not a chink in that.
No. There's no what?
What? what are you talking about?
What?
I don't joke like that.
No, hey, don't play games.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
All right.
No, but listen. Actually, the truth is that hey,
You need to meditate.
yeah, but
Let's do that. Try some out, Chew.
no.
Take you off
Listen.
the edge.
No.
little bit.
You know what?
You're on the verge.
Let me tell you something. I want to tell you something, man. I'm actually now against, to a certain extent, meditation.
Man, shut the fuck
It's
up.
too
Man,
easy.
shut up, bro.
It's too easy.
Shit, I'm not going to
It's too
entertain a
easy.
conversation
Yes,
like that.
I've done. Listen, I got.
I don't like silencing my mind or
I actually want to give it a try, man.
No.
It sounds
Schwartz wants to
I
try
hate
it.
fuck-
Schwartz. No, I didn't say I hate. Don't
Did he
put
say
words
I
in my
hate?
mouth.
He
I said
I
I'm
apparently hate.
against.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
against.
against.
Now I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
I used to go with fucking Darren Craig to a Korean temple that was actually just a house full of.
That already sounds like half the problem. Go on.
Okay.
You Korean? What you doing in a Korean temple?
I don't know why race has to enter into it, my
Okay,
friend.
All right.
And all I'm saying is, we went there and there was Buddhist monks, and we would meditate every morning for an hour.
Okay.
All right. And I've done a ton of meditation, right? And I'm not saying I'm done with it completely, but I am saying this. There is a place for silencing the mind. I agree, bro. I'm not trying to say there isn't. But I'm also saying that there's been in our American society, and we should be somewhat skeptical, that corporate America is so willing to embrace Zen or mind-quieting things. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you, and this is not an original idea that I've had, okay, but if you are able to disembody yourself from the world, you can also run the risk of losing compassion. And the reason being is you don't identify with what you're doing. There's no self. I'm not the self. It's just this emptiness, and I'm just a form, and I'm letting whatever happen. And as a result, you can disengage from the acts that you're actually doing. Sometimes your chattering mind is actually trying to tell you you're a little fucked up and you need to fucking take some accountability for what
I hear you too, man. But, you know.
I hear you.
Right. That's fine.
And I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't think that and this is my function in life, bro.
Yes.
I don't fucking just blindly follow shit.
Right.
You know, people tell me a lot of shit. I don't and I think about it, and I reason about it, and I think about it. And I think this is important because I think that a lot of people, there's a story, and I think Noah Levine is a great example of this, that there's a kind of dogma and a religiosity to certain quote-unquote Eastern practices.
Sure.
Okay. And there's a story, a famous Kohen. It's not a Kohen. It's a story about a monk and his acolytes, or his followers, his students. And this monk is meditating with these guys. This is Zen shit, Chinese. And he's telling them, like, all right, do this, do that, and do that. And to a certain extent, in doing meditation and trying to quiet the mind, you do have to follow some steps.
Okay.
But then there's this point at which being a blind follower of these things is actually undoing the purpose. And this master monk said to them, how much do you love the Buddha? How much do you love meditation? How much do you love it? Oh, we love it. We love it. Do everything, right? Sit like this, do like this, sit like this, do like this. And then he said, and he took this cat and he said, all right, as your master, I'm going to tell you that you need to kill this. I'm going to kill this cat, but you must not break your vow of silence. And so he prepared to strangle the cat, and all of the monks stayed silent, thinking that this was a test of their resolve. And he did. The master monk didn't kill the cat. He set him down, and he berated these students who had already been doing it for a long time to tell them, like, look, the purpose of meditation is to free your mind, as you said, Steve. It is not to blindly follow and just adhere to a bunch of stuff that you've been told is good. And if you are willing to follow those doctrines to the extent that you're allowing something to happen to, for me to do something incompassionate, then you don't actually understand the whole program at all. So that's when I say, like, there is a place for being a counter voice to necessarily what is accepted as an inherent good.
Yeah, there's a place for it, and it's usually going on the majority of the time. That's why there's a place for meditation. You know?
Yeah. And I'm just telling you, I'm being honest with you when I say,
right,
I'm at a place where I'm like, I don't know. I don't care anymore.
Right.
Right? I don't know. Sean, what do you think about that? Because I'm being real when I say I'm like, I don't.
I might feel like that if I spent a year going to a Chinese place and to some Chinese temple and meditating for an hour every morning. I probably would have felt like that too.
No, it wasn't. That didn't cause me to do it. It's been in the recent, like, I would say 3 years that
Well, you certainly brought it up as it like it was something.
No, I brought it up to show that I've practiced a lot of meditation. So, Sean, what are you saying? I'm not just saying this from some knee-jerk reaction of like, oh, I just don't like it. Go ahead, Sean. What?
Here again, you're calling on me like I'm
like you're part of you're a part of the show.
I'm, whatever. Okay, so my thought is that if you haven't done meditation, if you don't understand what meditation is, I think it's crucial that you do. I think it's crucial that you understand what it's like to have your mind quiet.
Yeah.
I think it will aid you in fucking a million ways.
Yes.
A million ways to understand what that space feels like, and just to know that your mind. Because man,
you don't think any bad's gonna come from it, do you?
No, definitely
Me either.
not. Now, if
So fuck you, man.
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
I must have touched.
You ever fucking?
I touched a nerve.
but
Fuck.
But
Maybe we need
We're
to
gonna
meditate.
jump him out. We're
Hey,
about.
no, you might need to
Hey,
meditate.
We might need you awake so we can help jump this guy
Hey,
out of
where's
the
your,
gang.
hey,
after
where's
this,
your
bro.
compassion, Steve? Where's your compassion?
Oh, let me meditate on that. I'll meditate on that later.
All right,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Sean.
I will say, when you have had that experience,
Yeah.
I do point to you and say you're right. You're completely right. Meditation isn't the cure, bro, of everything.
Right.
Right.
Accountability is going to get you way farther than that.
Sure.
And until you can take, responsibility for yourself and hold yourself accountable and understand that, like, you're in control of your energy and your choices and everything that every choice that you make, that you go through,
Yeah.
is you're accountable for all that shit.
Right.
And the fucking attitude that you have when you show up to work, when you show up to your house,
Right.
and all that shit.
Or even at a 7-Eleven, a
You
mess
start,
7-Eleven.
you start to claim that and retake it back, or 7-Eleven at
Yeah.
the fucking whatever,
Yeah.
and you start to claim that, and I think that gets you way farther than meditation could take you.
Right. Schwartz, what is your thought?
Dude, I literally, it's like I have never given it a shot. I've had it recommended to me a lot of times, and
I like your honesty, bro.
And
Right.
I deal with, especially recently, man, a lot of shit that I could probably benefit from. Not that everybody couldn't, but quieting my mind. It's been a real stressful time.
Yeah, we
especially
can
the
take
last
the whole
couple months.
not to interrupt you, we can take the whole meditation word off of it.
Right.
By just saying,
Quiet the mind.
Quiet
Just
your
sitting there.
mind.
I mean, dude, I gotta tell you, I was listening to you talk about it, and it was like, I can't wait to go home and fucking try it out, like a new video.
you know
game
what
or
I've
some
got?
Shit,
You know
like
what
as a
something?
kid.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. There's a point lately in my meditation, this time around that I'm practicing, where I realized when I close my eyes to meditate at that time, nobody's calling me. Right. Nobody's looking for me. I'm not worried about that. I'm not thinking about, like, this is actually golden moments.
Right.
Where I'm completely left alone to just be. And my life gets moving so fast that I never get that. You
Yeah,
know,
me either, bro.
I'm robbed from that. Right? Like, not robbed, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just said
He's robbed from it, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
100%.
like,
Schwartz.
so now I want to go. It's like, I'm looking forward to meditating because it's my little place, dude, where, like, I shut everything out, man.
Yeah.
And I finally get, like, what I've been wanting.
Okay.
To just be left alone. for a
Listen,
moment.
and so listen, I'm not devaluing any of that, but I am voicing what and maybe this is just how my personality. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. It's just some contrapoints and some other aspects to add.
It's okay, Juman.
Thank you. So the issue I asked then is, and I've heard this many times.
Ask.
Okay. Schwartz is excited because it's going to be like a new video game, so he can't wait.
Yes.
Okay. You've already expressed that these are golden, cherished moments.
I'm receiving the gifts as we speak.
Right. And Sean, right, has even gone to Vipassana or whatever the fuck it's
Right.
called and heard a loud woman fart and didn't even crack a laugh in a vow of
Right,
silence for a week.
And my man right here has been meditating all morning.
Right.
Okay,
He's
go.
meditating right
the
now. In
entire
fact, he's taking all fucking personality out of his voice. Uh-oh.
He's just
Wait,
finished the
shh,
meditation.
don't say anything yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ali woke up from his techno meditation. He came alive. He's pulling down the mask. He's got very orange sweatpants on and a leather jacket. Go.
So I feel like meditating is important because like life goes by so fast that you don't really like take in the moment. Like there's been like opportunities where I've done really cool things and then the next day I like totally like don't even like care about all that cool shit I did. So like when I get a chance to meditate, it makes me appreciate the moment and appreciate like what I've done. And it's like you just like sit down and really like absorb the moment instead of just like brushing it off. Like you really get to like appreciate life. And that's how I look at it.
Okay, and let's hear how he looks at it.
Happy New Year, we made it, 2022. Back at it with the Hard Luck Podcast.
Yeah.
sounded like you're
Said it.
meditating all the time, bro.
Thanks, Ali.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you,
good,
Ali.
brother.
That is good. So, and Ali, you're
Let's wrap this show up, man.
All right, he's 22 years old. Let's wrap this motherfucking show up. Ali's telling all us old fucks that, hey, slow down and start appreciating life, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's fragile. Take care of it, you guys.
That's right. And stop walking by meth mothers with kids in strollers. That's
And
wrong.
leaving them hanging them.
Right.
Throw 'em a
Just
couple
not
bucks.
Thinking about yourself.
Don't be cold-hearted like Meek Mill and Jumahan.
Don't just walk by and get your nicotine.
Don't just walk by.
Don't be selfish. Get
Fucking
your
sadistic
nicotine.
one over here.
Don't
man.
keep your compassion to yourself as you jump.
Share it.
Yeah.
You have an abundance, my
Listen,
friend.
you know what? You're right. Next time I'm going to turn around, I'm going to buy an extra thing of nicotine pouches and give it to that mother
it to the
and
kid.
say, hey,
No, the
kid.
kid.
Here's the
yeah, here you
key.
go, kid. Here's a pacifier for you,
Give
kid.
a few to your mom.
Yeah, here
Okay.
you go. Don't use
Hey.
it. Hey, don't chew them all in one space.
And like we do about this time, hasta la vista.
Supermax, right? Supermax hardware. How do we say it? Say it, bro.
That's right. It's www.supermaxhardware.com.
That's it.
Come check us out.
Yes.
Vibes.
Yes.
Cookies. Go
Yes.
spend some money.
Yes.
And Enzo's Pizzeria.
Yes.
And the Pico Youth and Family Center.
Yes.
Thank you. We love you.
Yes. And big shout out to Burner. Big shout out to Lion and everybody around them.
Lion.
Yeah. Lion. Ovando Bowen LLP. We wear braids to court. And listen, hardluckshow.com, hardluckshow.com. You can get the Art of War.
Art of War.